Strengthen Your Mind, The Path to Mental Discipline, written and published by Audiobooks. Chapter 1. Focus. Focus is like a superpower for your mind. Imagine trying to hit a target with a bow and arrow. If your aim is off, you'll miss the mark. But if you focus, if you really zero in on the target, your chances of hitting it are much higher. The same goes for your mind. When you learn to focus, you can direct your thoughts and energy toward what truly matters, leading to more success and satisfaction in whatever you do. In today's world, staying focused can be challenging. With constant distractions from smartphones, social media, and endless notifications, it's easy to lose track of what you're doing. Have you ever started working on something important, only to find yourself scrolling through social media or getting lost in a YouTube rabbit hole an hour later? It happens to the best of us. The good news is that focus is a skill you can develop, and like any skill, the more you practice, the better you get. The first step in improving your focus is understanding where your attention goes. Start by paying attention to how you spend your time. Are there certain times of the day when you're more easily distracted? Are there specific tasks that seem to pull you away from what you need to do? Once you know where your distractions lie, you can start to eliminate them. This might mean turning off notifications on your phone, setting specific times for checking email, or even creating a dedicated workspace where you can concentrate without interruptions. Another key to building focus is learning to prioritize. Not everything on your to-do list is equally important. Some tasks are critical, while others can wait. To strengthen your focus, start by identifying the most important task you need to accomplish each day. This is often called your most important task, or MIT. Once you've identified your MIT, make it your main focus for the day. Work on it first thing in the morning when your mind is fresh, and give it your full attention until it's done. You'll be amazed at how much more productive you can be when you tackle your most important tasks with laser-like focus. Of course, maintaining focus isn't just about avoiding distractions or prioritizing tasks. It's also about training your mind to stay on track. One effective way to do this is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you're mindful, you're fully engaged in whatever you're doing, whether it's a work task, a conversation, or even something as simple as eating a meal. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you can train your brain to stay focused on the task at hand, rather than getting lost in distractions or wandering thoughts. You can start by setting aside just a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Focus on your breathing, noticing the sensation of the air moving in and out of your lungs. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to your breath. With time, you'll find it easier to stay focused not just during your mindfulness practice, but in all areas of your life. One thing to remember about focus is that it's not about being perfect. No one can maintain perfect focus all the time. There will be moments when your mind wanders or when distractions creep in. That's okay. What's important is recognizing when you've lost focus and gently guiding your mind back to the task at hand. Over time, these moments of distraction will become less frequent, and your ability to concentrate will grow stronger. It's also important to take breaks. Focus requires energy, and just like a muscle, your mind can get tired if you push it too hard for too long. Taking short breaks throughout the day can actually improve your focus by giving your brain a chance to rest and recharge. Try the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After 4 sessions, take a longer break. This method can help you maintain high levels of focus without burning out. Chapter 2. Resilience. Resilience is like a strong tree that bends but doesn't break in the wind. It's the ability to keep going, even when life gets tough. We all face challenges, whether it's a difficult day at work, a personal setback, or something more serious. Resilience is what helps us bounce back from these challenges and come out stronger on the other side. Life is full of ups and downs, and no one is immune to hardship. But what sets resilient people apart is their ability to adapt and keep moving forward, even when things don't go as planned. Think about a time when you faced a big challenge. Maybe it was something that really tested your patience, your strength, or even your faith in yourself. Now, think about how you got through it. You might have felt like giving up at times, but you didn't. That's resilience. One of the most important things to understand about resilience is that it's not about being tough all the time. It's okay to feel sad, frustrated, or even overwhelmed when things go wrong. Resilience isn't about ignoring those feelings, it's about acknowledging them and then finding a way to move forward. It's about understanding that setbacks are a part of life, but they don't define you. Building resilience starts with how you think about challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles that are impossible to overcome, try to view them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge you face is a chance to learn something new about yourself and the world around you. It's a chance to develop new skills, discover your strengths, and build confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Another key part of resilience is having a positive attitude. This doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time or that you should ignore the tough stuff. But it does mean trying to focus on the good things, even when times are hard. For example, if you're going through a rough patch at work, try to find something positive in the situation. Maybe you're learning how to handle stress better, or maybe you're discovering what really matters to you in your career. By focusing on the positives, you can keep your spirits up and stay motivated to keep pushing forward. Resilience also comes from taking care of yourself, both physically and mentally. When you're feeling down, it's easy to neglect your health, but this is when you need to take care of yourself the most. Simple things like eating well, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly can make a big difference in how you feel. When your body is strong, your mind is stronger too, and you're better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. It's also important to build a support system. Resilient people know that they don't have to go through tough times alone. They reach out to friends, family, or even professionals when they need help. Having people you can talk to, who will listen and offer support, can make a huge difference in how you cope with challenges. Don't be afraid to lean on others when you need to. Sometimes, just knowing that someone else understands what you're going through can help you feel less alone and more resilient. Another aspect of resilience is flexibility. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and being able to adapt to change is a big part of being resilient. Instead of getting stuck on how things should be, try to be open to how things are. This might mean adjusting your expectations or finding a new way to reach your goals. When you're flexible, you're more likely to find solutions to problems and less likely to get stuck in a negative mindset. Chapter 3. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is like hitting the pause button on life, even if just for a moment. It's about being fully present in the here and now, rather than getting lost in thoughts about the past or worries about the future. When you practice mindfulness, you're giving yourself the chance to slow down, breathe, and really notice what's happening around you and within you. Imagine you're eating your favorite meal. When you're mindful, you're truly tasting every bite, savoring the flavors, and enjoying the experience. But when you're not mindful, you might find yourself eating on autopilot, barely noticing the food as your mind races with thoughts about what you need to do next. Mindfulness helps you break out of that autopilot mode and brings your attention back to what's right in front of you. The great thing about mindfulness is that you can practice it anytime, anywhere. You don't need any special tools or a lot of time. You just need to bring your attention to the present moment. One simple way to do this is by focusing on your breath. Right now, take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and then slowly exhale. Notice how it feels. That's mindfulness, a moment of being fully aware of something as simple as your breathing. When you start practicing mindfulness regularly, you might notice that you feel calmer and more centered. This is because mindfulness helps reduce stress by giving your mind a break from the constant stream of thoughts and worries that can overwhelm you. When you're mindful, you're not trying to change anything or fix anything. You're simply observing, without judgment, what is happening right now. This can be incredibly freeing, especially if you tend to get caught up in overthinking or stressing about things you can't control. Mindfulness isn't just about calming your mind, it's also about being more aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you're mindful, you're more in tune with how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way. For example, if you're feeling stressed, instead of just pushing that feeling aside, mindfulness encourages you to explore it. You might notice that your shoulders are tense or that your breathing is shallow. By paying attention to these physical cues, you can start to understand what's causing your stress and take steps to address it. Another benefit of mindfulness is that it can improve your relationships. When you're fully present with someone, you're more likely to listen to them without distraction, understand their perspective, and respond thoughtfully. This can lead to deeper connections and more meaningful interactions. Whether you're having a conversation with a friend, spending time with your family, or even interacting with a coworker, practicing mindfulness can help you be more engaged and empathetic. One of the challenges of mindfulness is that it can be difficult to stay present, especially when life gets busy. It's easy to get swept up in the rush of daily life, and before you know it, the day has passed without a single mindful moment. That's why it's helpful to incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine in small, manageable ways. You might start by setting aside just a few minutes each morning to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Or you could try being mindful during everyday activities like brushing your teeth, walking, or even washing the dishes. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to bring mindfulness into all areas of your life. Chapter 4. Self-control. Self-control is like having a steering wheel for your mind. It's the ability to guide your actions and decisions in the direction you want to go, even when there are temptations or distractions trying to pull you off course. Imagine you're driving a car. Without a steering wheel, you'd have no way to stay on the road. Self-control is what keeps you on track toward your goals, helping you make choices that align with your values and long-term plans. We all face moments when self-control is tested. Maybe it's resisting the urge to eat that extra slice of cake, choosing to study instead of binge-watching TV, or staying calm when someone says something that annoys you. These moments can be challenging, but they're also opportunities to practice and strengthen your self-control. One of the most important things to understand about self-control is that it's not about denying yourself pleasure or being strict with yourself all the time. It's about balance. It's about knowing when to say yes and when to say no, based on what's best for you in the long run. For example, enjoying a treat every now and then is perfectly fine, but if you're trying to improve your health, exercising self-control around sweets might be important. Self-control often starts with being aware of your impulses and understanding the reasons behind them. For instance, if you find yourself reaching for a snack when you're not really hungry, pause and ask yourself why. Are you bored, stressed, or simply in the habit of snacking at certain times? By becoming more aware of your triggers, you can start to make more conscious choices about your actions. Another key to developing self-control is setting clear goals. When you know what you want to achieve, it's easier to stay focused and resist distractions. Let's say you're saving money for a big trip. Every time you're tempted to spend money on something unnecessary, you can remind yourself of your goal. This helps you stay committed to your plan and makes it easier to say no to impulse purchases. It's also helpful to create an environment that supports your self-control. If you're trying to eat healthier, for example, keeping unhealthy snacks out of the house can reduce temptation. If you're trying to be more productive, setting up a workspace that's free from distractions can help you stay focused. Small changes in your environment can make a big difference in your ability to stick to your goals. Self-control isn't just about resisting temptations, it's also about managing your emotions. When you're feeling angry, stressed, or overwhelmed, it can be easy to react impulsively, maybe by saying something you don't mean or making a decision you'll later regret. Practicing self-control in these situations means taking a moment to pause, breathe, and think before you act. This can help you respond more calmly and make choices that you won't regret later. One way to strengthen your self-control is by practicing delayed gratification. This means choosing a smaller reward now in favor of a bigger reward later. For example, if you're studying for an exam, you might choose to spend an hour reviewing your notes instead of watching a movie. The immediate reward of the movie is tempting, but the long-term reward of doing well on your exam is much more valuable. The more you practice delayed gratification, the easier it becomes to make decisions that align with your long-term goals. Another important aspect of self-control is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you slip up, but beating yourself up over a mistake can actually make it harder to stay on track. Instead of being overly critical, try to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes, and what's important is getting back on track. If you overindulge one day, don't let it derail your entire week. Accept it, learn from it, and move on. Building self-control takes time and practice, and it's normal to have setbacks along the way. What matters is your commitment to improving, even if progress is slow. Each time you successfully practice self-control, you're strengthening your ability to make choices that benefit you in the long run. Over time, you'll find that it becomes easier to resist temptations, stay focused on your goals, and manage your emotions in a healthy way. Chapter 5. Emotional Intelligence. Emotional intelligence is like a superpower that helps you understand, manage, and use your emotions in a positive way. It's what allows you to connect with others, handle stress, and make decisions that aren't just based on feelings in the moment. Imagine being able to stay calm under pressure, understand how others are feeling, and navigate your relationships smoothly. This is what emotional intelligence can help you do. At its core, emotional intelligence is about being aware of your emotions. We all experience a wide range of emotions every day: happiness, frustration, excitement, anger, and everything in between. But sometimes, we don't really pay attention to how we're feeling or why we're feeling that way. Emotional intelligence starts with recognizing your emotions as they happen. This awareness gives you the power to respond to your feelings in a thoughtful way, rather than just reacting on impulse. For example, let's say you're stuck in traffic and you start to feel frustrated. If you're not aware of your emotions, that frustration might build up until you snap at someone or let it ruin your whole day. But if you're emotionally intelligent, you'll notice the frustration early on and can choose how to deal with it. Maybe you take a few deep breaths, remind yourself that the traffic isn't in your control, and decide to listen to some music to help you relax. By managing your emotions, you prevent them from taking control of you. Another important part of emotional intelligence is empathy, which is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. When you're empathetic, you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and see things from their perspective. This makes it easier to connect with people, whether it's a friend who's going through a tough time or a coworker who's stressed about a project. Empathy helps you respond to others in a way that's kind, supportive, and understanding. Empathy doesn't just improve your relationships with others, it also helps you navigate social situations more effectively. When you're in tune with how others are feeling, you can communicate more clearly, avoid misunderstandings, and work through conflicts more easily. Imagine being in a meeting where someone is clearly upset. If you're not paying attention to their emotions, you might push forward with your own agenda without addressing their concerns, which could lead to tension or resentment. But if you're emotionally intelligent, you'll recognize their emotions and address them, which can help resolve the situation and create a more positive outcome for everyone involved. Emotional intelligence also involves managing your emotions in a healthy way. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is okay when it's not. Instead, it's about finding constructive ways to deal with your emotions. For example, if you're feeling anxious about a big presentation, instead of letting that anxiety overwhelm you, you might practice deep breathing, prepare thoroughly, or talk to someone you trust about your concerns. By taking proactive steps to manage your emotions, you can reduce their negative impact and stay focused on what you need to do. Another aspect of emotional intelligence is being able to recognize and influence the emotions of others. This can be especially helpful in leadership or teamwork situations. For instance, if you're leading a team and you notice that morale is low, emotional intelligence allows you to address the issue in a way that boosts everyone's spirits and gets the team back on track. It might involve offering encouragement, addressing concerns, or creating a more positive environment. By understanding how others are feeling and responding appropriately, you can create stronger, more productive relationships. Chapter 6. Adaptability. Adaptability is like having a flexible mindset that helps you handle change with ease. It's the ability to adjust when things don't go as planned and to make the best of new situations. Imagine you're on a road trip and the GPS takes you down an unexpected detour. Instead of stressing out, adaptability helps you stay calm, figure out a new route, and continue enjoying the journey. Life is full of surprises and changes, and being adaptable helps you navigate them smoothly. Change is a constant part of life. Whether it's a new job, a move to a different city, or even just a sudden change in your daily routine, adaptability helps you adjust without getting overwhelmed. It's about being open to new experiences and willing to try different approaches when faced with obstacles. One way to build adaptability is by staying curious and open-minded. When you approach new situations with a sense of curiosity, you're more likely to see opportunities rather than challenges. For example, if your company introduces a new software system, instead of feeling frustrated, you might look at it as a chance to learn something new. By staying curious, you can make the most out of changes and even enjoy the process of learning and growing. Adaptability also involves being able to let go of rigid plans and expectations. Sometimes things don't turn out the way you imagined, and that's okay. Instead of sticking to a plan that's no longer working, adaptability allows you to pivot and find a new path. For instance, if you're working on a project and encounter unexpected obstacles, rather than getting stuck on the original plan, you might brainstorm alternative solutions and adjust your strategy. This flexibility can lead to better outcomes and help you stay on track even when things change. Another important aspect of adaptability is resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks. When something goes wrong, it's natural to feel disappointed or frustrated. But adaptability helps you get back on your feet and keep moving forward. For example, if you're faced with a setback at work, like a missed deadline or a failed proposal, adaptability allows you to reflect on what went wrong, learn from the experience, and try again with a new approach. It's about seeing setbacks as temporary and finding ways to overcome them. Being adaptable also means being willing to embrace change rather than resist it. Change can be uncomfortable, but it's often necessary for growth and progress. If you resist change, you might find yourself stuck in the same place, unable to move forward. But if you embrace it with an open mind, you'll find that change can bring new opportunities and experiences that you might not have encountered otherwise. One way to practice adaptability is by setting small, achievable goals that push you out of your comfort zone. These goals can help you build confidence in your ability to handle change and become more comfortable with uncertainty. For example, if you're used to a strict routine, you might try introducing a small change, like taking a different route to work or trying a new hobby. These small steps can help you become more adaptable and open to bigger changes in the future. Adaptability also involves being proactive rather than reactive. Instead of waiting for changes to happen and then trying to adjust, you can anticipate potential challenges and prepare for them in advance. For example, if you know that your job might involve changes in technology, you could start learning about new tools or taking relevant courses. Being proactive helps you stay ahead of the curve and makes it easier to adapt when changes do occur. Building adaptability also means developing a positive attitude towards change. It's easy to focus on the negatives when things don't go as planned, but a positive attitude can help you see the silver lining in any situation. When you approach change with a positive mindset, you're more likely to find creative solutions and adapt more easily. Chapter 7. Habit Formation. Habits are like the routines of your daily life, the things you do automatically without having to think much about them. They can be big, like going for a morning jog, or small, like brushing your teeth before bed. Habit formation is about understanding how these automatic behaviors develop and how you can create new habits or change existing ones to improve your life. Think of habits as the way your brain takes shortcuts. When you do something repeatedly, your brain starts to recognize it as a pattern and makes it easier to do. This is why habits can be so powerful. They help you accomplish tasks efficiently without using up too much mental energy. But this also means that if you want to build a new habit, you need to understand how to train your brain to accept the new routine as part of your daily life. The first step in forming a new habit is to start small. If you try to make a big change all at once, it can feel overwhelming and be hard to stick with. Instead, break your new habit into smaller, manageable steps. For example, if you want to start exercising regularly, instead of jumping into a full workout routine, you might begin with a short walk each day. As this becomes a part of your routine, you can gradually increase the duration and intensity of your exercise. Another important aspect of habit formation is consistency. For a new habit to stick, you need to practice it regularly. The more consistent you are, the more your brain will recognize the behavior as a part of your daily life. Try to perform your new habit at the same time and place every day. This repetition helps reinforce the behavior and makes it easier to remember to do it. For example, if you want to develop a habit of reading before bed, set aside a specific time each night to read and choose a comfortable spot where you can relax and enjoy your book. It's also helpful to link your new habit to an existing one. This technique is called habit stacking and involves attaching a new habit to a routine you already have. For instance, if you already have a habit of drinking a cup of coffee every morning, you could stack a new habit, like stretching for 5 minutes, right after your coffee. By linking the new habit to something you already do, you create a natural reminder and make it easier to remember to follow through. One of the biggest challenges in forming new habits is dealing with setbacks. It's normal to have days when you miss a habit or find it hard to stay on track. Instead of getting discouraged, use setbacks as learning opportunities. Reflect on what led to the slip and how you can address it. Maybe you were too tired or something unexpected came up. Understanding these obstacles helps you adjust your approach and keep moving forward. Building new habits also requires patience. It takes time for your brain to adjust to new routines and for the new behavior to become automatic. On average, it takes about 21 to 66 days for a new habit to form, depending on the complexity of the behavior and individual differences. During this time, it's important to stay motivated and keep reminding yourself of the benefits of your new habit. Celebrate small victories along the way to keep yourself encouraged. Visualizing the benefits of your new habit can also boost your motivation. Imagine how your life will improve once the habit becomes a part of your daily routine. For example, if your goal is to drink more water each day, picture yourself feeling more energetic and healthier as a result. This positive reinforcement can help you stay focused and committed to your new habit. Another useful tip for habit formation is to track your progress. Keeping a record of your daily efforts can help you stay accountable and see how far you've come. You might use a journal, a habit tracking app, or even a simple calendar where you mark off each day you successfully complete your new habit. Seeing your progress can provide a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to keep going. Chapter 8. Willpower. Willpower is like a mental muscle that helps you stay focused and make decisions, even when it's tough. It's the inner strength that helps you push through challenges, resist temptations, and stick to your goals. Imagine willpower as a powerful force that helps you keep going, even when you'd rather give up or give in to distractions. Willpower is essential for achieving long-term goals. Whether you're trying to finish a big project at work, stick to a healthy diet, or save money, willpower plays a key role in staying on track. It helps you make choices that align with your values and long-term plans, rather than giving in to short-term temptations. One important thing to understand about willpower is that it's not unlimited. Just like your muscles get tired after a workout, your willpower can get drained after making a lot of decisions or resisting temptations throughout the day. This is why it's important to manage and conserve your willpower by making smart choices and setting yourself up for success. One way to build and strengthen your willpower is by setting clear, achievable goals. When you know exactly what you want to accomplish, it's easier to stay focused and motivated. Break your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. For example, if you're trying to improve your fitness, set a goal to exercise for 30 minutes 3 times a week. Once you achieve this, you can gradually increase the intensity or frequency of your workouts. Setting clear goals helps you stay on track and gives you a sense of accomplishment as you make progress. Another strategy for boosting your willpower is to create a positive environment that supports your goals. If you're trying to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove tempting snacks. If you're working on a project, create a dedicated workspace that minimizes distractions. By making it easier to stick to your goals, you can conserve your willpower and make better choices. It's also helpful to practice self-discipline in small ways. Small acts of self-control can build your willpower over time. For example, you might start by challenging yourself to resist the urge to check your phone while working. As you build this habit, you'll find it easier to apply willpower to other areas of your life. These small successes can boost your confidence and make it easier to tackle bigger challenges. Another key aspect of willpower is learning how to manage stress. Stress can deplete your willpower and make it harder to stay focused on your goals. Find healthy ways to cope with stress, such as exercise, meditation, or talking to a friend. By managing stress effectively, you can preserve your willpower and maintain your motivation. Building willpower also involves developing healthy habits that support your goals. When you have positive habits in place, it's easier to stay on track without relying solely on willpower. For example, if you want to improve your productivity, establish a daily routine that includes focused work periods and regular breaks. By making these habits a part of your daily life, you reduce the need for willpower to stay productive. One of the biggest challenges to willpower is dealing with temptation. When you're faced with something tempting, like an unhealthy snack or an opportunity to procrastinate, it's important to have strategies in place to manage the temptation. You might use techniques like distraction, substitution, or simply removing the temptation from your environment. For example, if you're tempted to skip a workout, you might distract yourself by calling a friend or substituting the workout with a different activity you enjoy. Removing or managing temptations can help you conserve your willpower and stay focused on your goals. Remember that willpower is like a muscle that needs regular exercise to stay strong. The more you practice using your willpower, the better you become at controlling your impulses and making decisions that align with your goals. It's also important to be kind to yourself and recognize that setbacks are a normal part of the process. If you slip up or face a challenge, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, reflect on what you can learn from the experience and use it as motivation to keep going.